Dr. Bobot is an expert at identifying and treating pulmonology health conditions. Get the right diagnosis and treatment for your breathing problem with an experienced pulmonologist. For healthier breathing, book an appointment in Clinton today. Call 217-784-2212.
Hi, this is Dr. Sue Stur from Covenant Animal Clinic. We are very happy to be the proud sponsor of a new Adopt a Pet page on DeWittDailyNews.com. Just click on the icon next to the masthead to get to the new Adopt a Pet page. Then you will be able to see some of the adorable dogs and cats at the DeWitt County Animal Shelter that are waiting for their forever home. You can also click on the link from the page to fill out the animal adoption application form. Thank you for helping us spread the word about our four-legged friends at the DeWitt County Animal Shelter who are ready to be adopted. And remember, a healthy pet is a happy pet.
Get WHOW programming live or on demand right there on your desktop, tablet, iPhone, or smartphone when you want it 24 hours a day. Just go to DeWittDailyNews.com. If you want to listen to live WHOW programming, just click the Listen Live icon. And if you want to hear one of your favorite WHOW programs when you want to, just click on the Audio on Demand icon. WHOW programming is there when you want it. Just another service from the big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW.
This is the voice of the Eastern Illinois University Panthers, Mike Brad, inviting all of our fans from Peoria to the Indiana state line to listen for Panther football again this fall on WHOW's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online. EIU Panther football is part of WHOW's great weekend sports programming schedule, including a Best of Clinton Maroon sports broadcast and CBS Sports Radio. We'll bring you every Panther game start to finish right here on Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and sports station, WHOW.
News time is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Monday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast, streaming to Facebook and YouTube on this Monday. This year's harvest could come under ideal conditions for producers. That's according to Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln. While some producers are already in the fields, the October and November forecasts are showing above normal temperatures with the potential for normal rainfall.
It looks like, we're going to have really good harvest weather as far as, my recollection from my farming days when I was in Wisconsin, but dry. It isn't going to be soggy, so the field should be relatively receptive to the heavy equipment getting in there and getting the job done and properly drying out the harvest so that they can get it in there and get it into their storage.
According to Shimon, the outlook for October through December is showing above normal temperatures and not a strong indication for above or below normal rainfall.
Above normal and above normal temps, near normal precip for both of those. September through November, October through December are both indicating that, we'll see above normal temperatures, at least the trends are that way. And then precipitation will probably give us, roughly 3 inches of rain each month is around normal. Basically, it doesn't mean we're going to see that. It's just equal chances of being below near normal or above normal. So any one of those categories have an equal opportunity to grab the show. So when we say equal chances, we're not saying you're going to see only 3 inches of rain. It's the likelihood of any of those three categories is.
A challenge during the harvest season is the decreasing daylight hours. Between the start of September and the end of September, daylight reduces by about 70 minutes.
Yeah, we lose 70 minutes of sunlight this month, which is a lot. It tips the balance because we're in the transit period now as we get towards the midpoint, like September 21st, when we start into fall officially. That's when the sun in the sky moves more significantly towards changing the amount of daylight we have. So 70 minutes is a lot. So we're losing that both in sunrise and sunset times there. So you're going to notice it by the end of September. Those evening sunshine is going to dwindle more quickly.
As producers get out in the fields more and more in the weeks ahead, authorities are also reminding motorists to be patient and mindful of the heavy implements that will be out, especially on rural roads over the next couple of months. A local nonprofit provides support on utility bills and is letting the public know the enrollment process is a little different this year. Anita Russell with Community Action explains the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, or LHEAP, provides financial aid to low-income families when it comes to their energy bills, and the LHEAP year begins October 1.
LHEAP is the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, so it helps low-income individuals get energy assistance to help with that energy burden that we all know is going on right now. But yeah, it's basically, it puts a credit onto their account and they can use it however they need to, monthly or pay off bills or whatever, but it's to help out with energy. So in order to get LHEAP assistance, they have to call our office in Lincoln. That's every county that we service. All the appointments have to come through the Lincoln office. So that's by calling 217-732-2159. The people that are calling in they should be the person on the power bill, because it makes it a lot easier for us rather than trying to figure that out. But they have to supply social security numbers for everybody in the household, proof of income for everybody in the household for the last 30 days, and their most recent electric and gas bill. Could be propane, natural gas. We do wood, if that is something as well. But the person whose name on the power bill has to be in the household. So, if somebody else's name is on it, you can't get that assistance. It has to be somebody claimed in the house.
When does the LHEAP year begin?
October 1st.
Community Action rolls out LHEAP enrollment in stages to give priority groups, like those that are 60 and older, people on long-term disability benefits, and those whose gas or electricity has already been disconnected or have notice of disconnection. This year, Russell says they're trying to make it easier for the elderly and people with disabilities.
So we have priority groups this year. So it's anybody that's 60 years or older. If you are on long-term disability, so receiving SSA or SSI, if you have a child 5 or under, if you are disconnected or have a disconnect notice, you can start calling us on September 17th to get an appointment for October 1st. We cannot look or put any applications into the computer system until October 1st. So that's where they're going to start calling our office in Lincoln, the 217-732-2159 to get a hold of us. We are doing something a little different this year to try to make it a little easier for people that applied last year that are elderly and disabled. So it's the first priority group. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Everybody else starts November 1st. I get a little excited talking about this auto enrollment because this is the first time we're doing it. Okay. But for people that have applied last year that are elderly and disabled, my team has been calling them to get their updated income information. So that way, when October 1st comes, we can just put their information into the system and they don't have to bother scheduling an appointment. We know with the rising cost of the energy bills that there's going to be a lot of people calling us September 17th, and we don't want the elderly and disabled to kind of get pushed back. They have a harder time getting through and give up on it, or, I'll just do it later. Well, I don't like that. I want them to be able to get an equal amount of assistance. I mean, they're going to a fair opportunity to get in is what I guess I'm saying.
For more information, visit capsule.info. News time is 8:15 on this Monday. Stay with us for a look at sports. Bears in action yesterday in the NFL. White Sox in action. You heard the Sox on WHOW on Sunday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, you heard Illinois State and Eastern Illinois. A good one in the non-conference college football season. Recaps of those stories and more next in sports.
Noah Atkinson here. As owner of Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs in Lincoln, I know small business is important to our communities. That's why I'm pleased to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month.
Quality Glass and Trim at 220 Northeast Street in Clinton is another longtime Clinton business. They offer glass sales and service, specializing in commercial, home, and auto. Quality Glass and Trim also does storm windows, glass furniture tops, and headliners. They'll receive a $200 gift certificate good at Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs for being our WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month. Nominate a business you'd like featured by emailing us at WHOW@randyradio.com.
Congratulations to this local business for all they do for the community. And don't forget, for envelopes, wedding invitations, signs, banner wraps, and more, go to LincolnPrintersInc.com.
This is Seth Lawrence, News and Program Director for WHOW and WEZC. We take pride in being Clinton and Central Illinois' local radio stations each and every day, 7 days a week. What does local news mean? Here's a sample.
First and foremost is the safety of the children out. Plan extra time for your route so you can drive slow. I know everybody's in a rush in the mornings. There's kids out.
I'm excited that I get to break a little bit of news today, that this commitment is going to start right here, right now, with $100,000 over 5 years to the Clinton Community YMCA.
And financially, it's not looking good for the movie theater. And are they going to be able to keep the doors open? We're not sure.
You hear the local people that make the news every day, 7 days a week on the big 1520 AM, 92.3 FM, and 106.5 FM WHOW, and on your easy choice for soft hits, 95.9 FM WEZC.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jason Walker. Another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Atlanta over Minnesota, 22-6 in a little rematch, you could say, of the Super Bowl. The Eagles defeated the Chiefs Sunday, 20-17. Elsewhere, it was Indianapolis 29, Denver Broncos 28, Arizona getting past Carolina 27-22. Seattle over the Pittsburgh Steelers, 31-17. San Francisco 26, New Orleans 21. New England defeating Miami 33-27. Elsewhere, the Rams beat Tennessee 33-19. Detroit 52, Chicago 21. Dallas in overtime over the Giants 40-37. Cincinnati 31, Jacksonville 27. Buffalo beat the Jets 30-10. Baltimore 41, Cleveland 17. SRN Sports. Major League Baseball action in the National League. The Dodgers over the Giants 10-2. San Diego 9, Colorado 6. St. Louis got past Milwaukee 3-2, and Washington edged Pittsburgh. Final there was 4-3. In the American League, Cleveland 3, the White Sox 2. Boston beat the bitter rival Yankees 6-4. Seattle 11, Angels 2, and Toronto, same score over Baltimore, 11-2. Interleague play, the Athletics 7, Cincinnati 4, Arizona 6, Minnesota 4. The Cubs beat Tampa Bay 4-3, while the Mets snapped their losing streak, defeating Texas 5-2. Atlanta 8, Houston 3, Kansas City defeated Philadelphia by a score of 10-3, and it was Detroit shutting out Miami 2-0. SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. Jared Goff threw for 334 yards and matched a career high with 5 touchdown passes, including a career high 3 scores to Amon-Ra St. Brown to help Detroit bounce back with a 52-21 win over the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Detroit had more than 500 yards of total offense for the with 5 passing touchdowns and 2 scores on the ground for the first time in franchise history, and averaged a team best 8.8 yards per play, with offensive coordinator John Morton calling plays. The 0-2 Bears turned the ball over twice in the first half, leading to a 28-14 deficit that was too large to overcome in Johnson's return to the city, where he became an offensive coordinator and one of the NFL's top coaching candidates. Chicago turned it over on downs in each half. They had 8 penalties and gave up 4 sacks. The Lions were 3 points from matching a franchise record for points in a game in the regular season, and the Bears were 3 points from tying the most they've allowed. Chicago's Caleb Williams was 19 of 30 for 207 yards with 2 touchdowns to Rome Odunze, a 28-yard pass to answer Detroit's game-opening touchdown, and a 6-yard throw to make it 21-14 late in the first half. The The top overall pick in last year's draft also threw an ill-advised pass that was picked off and taken out midway through the fourth quarter because Johnson said the game was out of reach. Bears starting defensive back Kyler Gordon was inactive. Starting linebacker TJ Edwards and defensive back Jalen Johnson left the game with injuries. The Bears will host the Cowboys next Sunday. In a game heard here on WHOW, Bo Naylor drove in all 3 Cleveland Guardian runs, including a go-ahead home run in the 7th inning as Cleveland beat the White Sox 3-2 Sunday for a series sweep of the weekend.
The Sox get swept by the Guardians and go 0 for Cleveland this season, dropping all 6 games at Progressive Field in 2025. Chase Maidroth extended his hitting streak, though, to 10 games with a game-tying blast.
0-2 is hit in the air to left field. Kwan is back, and it is gone. I believe it's a home run.
But it was the other Naylor, Bo, not Josh, that did the Sox in this time.
And he hits a high fly ball out into right. Cockman was in. He's now going back. Still back. He leaps. He can't get it. It's a home run.
Sox back at home to begin their final homestand of the season on Monday against Baltimore. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6 p.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
And hear the Sox tonight right here on WHOW. Jose Fermin and Nathan Church hit RBI singles as the St. Louis Cardinals scored all their runs in the second inning of a 3-2 win over the Milwaukee Brewers Sunday. The victory kept the Cardinals from going winless in a 6-game road trip. Milwaukee lost a day after becoming the first major league team to clinch a playoff berth. Riley O'Brien followed a 2-out walk to Andrew Menestario in the 9th inning before striking out Sal Frelick to earn his 4th save in 7 opportunities. It was a measure of redemption for O'Brien, who allowed 3 runs without retiring a batter in a 9-8 10-inning loss to Milwaukee on Saturday. In the second inning, Brewers starter Jose Quintana allowed 6 of the first 7 Cardinals batters to reach. Thomas Sagazy hit a leadoff single, advanced to third on Nolan Gorman's double, and scored on a Pedro Pajes sac fly before Jordan Walker walked. Fermin singled home Gorman, and Church singled home Walker. Milwaukee got solo homers from Caleb Durbin in the 4th inning and Danny Jensen in the 5th. Jensen's homer was his 12th of the season, but first since July 20th. It was also the first time he'd gone deep since the Brewers acquired him from the Rays at the trade deadline. Those were the only runs against Miles Michaelis, who pitched 5 innings. The Brewers had runners on first and second with 2 outs in the 6th when Blake Perkins greeted Jorge Alcala with a 104.3 mile per hour screamer to right, but Walker snared it to end the threat. In his last 4 starts, Michaelis has allowed 6 runs in 21 innings and has not given up more than 2 runs in any of those appearances. The Cardinals return home to begin a series with the Reds. Monday's scheduled pitchers are Matthew Liberatore and St. Louis against Cincinnati's Zach Littell. Nico Horner had 3 RBIs, including a go-ahead 2-run double in the 7th inning that sparked the Chicago Cubs over the fading Tampa Bay Rays 4-3 Sunday. Ian Happ homered and Michael Busch doubled for the Cubs, who have won 4 of 5 and their lead for the top NL wildcard spot. Tampa Bay has lost 7 of 9, dropping to 73 and 76. Junior Caminero, the Rays' 22-year-old emerging star, hit his 44th home run. Javier Assad scattered 2 hits in 2 1/3 scoreless innings for Chicago. And Andrew Kitteridge struck out Caminero with a runner on first for his 5th save in 6 chances. Ian Happ put Chicago's deficit to 3-2 in the 6th with his 22nd homer. Horner had a 2-run double off Edwin Uceta for a 4-3 lead in the 7th after Willie Castro and Matt Shaw singled. Yandy Diaz and Caminero hit back-to-back homers for the Rays, starting the game off against Shota Imanaga, who allowed 3 runs and 7 hits in 5 innings with 9 strikeouts to no walks. Christopher Morel, who played for the Cubs from 2022 to 24, exited in the 6th inning with an abdominal bruise after he was hit by a foul ball. Cubs right-hander Jameson Tejon starts tonight opposite Pirates right-hander Braxton Ashcraft. Luke Altmaier threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another as 9th-ranked Illinois shut out Western Michigan 38-0 Sunday night. Caden Fegan rushed for 100 yards and a touchdown. Khalil Valentine ran for 63 yards and a touchdown. Hank Beatty caught 6 passes for 53 yards, including a touchdown. It was the 7th consecutive victory dating back to last season for the 3-0 Illini, their longest winning streak since they won 7 in a row in 2011. Illinois led just 10-0 at the half, preserving the shutout with a goal line stand in the final seconds. The Illini stopped the Broncos twice at the 1-yard line. The Illini have opened the season with decisive wins against Western Illinois, Duke, and Western Michigan with a combined record of 2-7, outscoring them 128-22. Now Illinois has an opportunity to show it deserves its 9th ranking in the AP polls, the team's highest since 2001 and best since September of 1964, with games coming up against 22nd ranked Indiana and USC. In a game heard here on WHOW, Luke Melander hauled in 5 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown. Wankers Wright scored 3 times on the ground with 94 yards rushing, and Illinois State beat Eastern Illinois 42-30 Saturday afternoon. ISU opened on a 14-0 run and never trailed as they captured the Mid-America Classic Trophy in the 112th edition of the rivalry game. They are 61-43-9 all-time in the series that dates back to 1901. Senior quarterback Tommy Rittenhouse threw for 299 yards and 3 touchdowns, connecting with Melander on a 46-yarder that put ISU up 20-10 to end the second quarter. Ty Niekamp had 14 total tackles. 2 were for a loss. Jack Dwyer and Shadwell Nakuba each had interceptions. The fourth quarter featured 5 combined touchdowns, with freshman Connor Wolf throwing 3 of his 4 touchdown passes in the frame, but the 1-2 Panthers could not complete the comeback. Wolf completed 28 of his 44 passes for 411 yards for EIU in his first career start. C.J. Nelson reeled in 2 long touchdowns of 51 and 75 yards as the longest plays of the day. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and